Hey, what's happening everyone? It's Prince and I'm back with another video. And in this video I want to talk about Double or Nothing. So, Double or Nothing has come and gone for 2021 and I'd say it was definitely one of AEW's best shows. What did you guys think of it? You know, any favorite matches? Anyway, let's talk about some highlights from Double or Nothing 2021. So, the buy-in, even the buy-in was a phenomenal match. Yeah, the match where Serena Deeb defended the NWA Women's Championship against Riho. Now, not sure I heard quite right. I heard one of the commentators say during that match that Riho is prioritizing America. Like, you know, before she was like sort of just part-time because she did a lot of time because she was like still wrestling in Japan. But if what I heard was right, she's now prioritizing America. So we're gonna see a lot more of Riho in AEW, and that's definitely great news. She's definitely a fan favorite, a crowd favorite, so it's good to see more of her. So the match itself was, yeah, like I said, it was really good. Very technically sound, and you know, both Serena Deeb and Riho showed their skills in the ring. Yeah, counter after counter, and Serena Deeb actually showed like some heelish persona in that match. She teased a heel turn, a Serena Deeb heel turn. Why not? Every now and then you gotta shake things up, right? So yeah, a Serena Deeb heel turn would be pretty cool. So that I do like, and eventually it ended up with her, you know, making Riho tap out to retain the NWA Women's title. But yeah, man, she like showed some heel persona. It's either that or it's just a very competitive spirit, a very competitive personality that she portrayed in that ring. So it's either a heel turn on the horizon, or this is just one of those very competitive faces. But either way, it was a good match, and it just leaves us curious to know what happens next. The Young Bucks versus Jon Moxley and Eddie Kingston. That match also had a lot of attitude behind it, had a lot of emotion in it, and yeah, a lot of hard-hitting affairs. Yeah, Moxley definitely looked strong in that match. You know, he took super kick after super kick, and he just kept coming. I mean, sucks that eventually the Young Bucks put him away with, you know, BTE triggers, with 4 BTE triggers to be exact. So, yeah. Did I wish that Kingston and Moxley won the titles? I really did. Yeah, I really like this duo of Jon Moxley and Eddie Kingston. I think like they're one of the best things that's going on in AEW right now. So having them win the tag titles would have been cool. Unfortunately, it just wasn't their night. Are there pros to this? Well, yeah, it makes the Elite look strong as a unit. I meant, not that they need those tag team titles to look strong as a unit, because as I said before, Kenny Omega has like, what, 3+ belts, you know? But yeah, this does add to that. The Young Bucks look hard to beat, so there's that. So whoever finally beats them for the title, whoever finally defeats them for the tag team titles will definitely, you know, have a hard-hitting match, will definitely look strong doing it, and will make a name for themselves, for sure. So, yeah, still a good match, though. Even though it wasn't the outcome I wanted, the match itself was good. There was a lot of intensity in it. Okay. Hikaru Shida defending the AEW Women's World title against Britt Baker. That match was also good. You know, it was classic face versus heel match. Britt Baker did heelish tactics, but hey, she was supposed to be a heel. But even though she did heelish tactics, she did look strong in that match, was what I liked. Like the part where Rebel tried to hit her with that crutch. I meant try to hit Sheeta with the crutch, but missed and hit Britt Baker instead. And yeah, at that point I was like, really? They're really gonna have Sheeta retain again? I mean, I love Sheeta, by the way. I really do. She's definitely been like pushed strong. She's been used strong in AEW. She held this title for a year. However, after a year, I think it's time to, let someone else hold the title for a while. Because, to continue its lineage. And there is such thing as over pushing someone, as we all know. Yeah. Push them strong, yes. Don't bury them, but at the same time, you don't want to go too deep on the other end where you're like pushing them like they're Superman or Superwoman. At that point, yeah, the fans, they will get sick of it. I mean, if Sheeta had won that night, then there's a good chance the fans would have turned on her, and then like AEW would have to force her to be a heel. So yeah, the fact that Britt Baker won was definitely the right choice. I mean, I was in Britt Baker's corner since day one. I always thought she had like star written all over her. I probably said that in an earlier video, but anyway, I'm just reiterating that. So yeah, Britt Baker definitely did her time. She's been there since like 2019, since like almost the very beginning of AEW. So she definitely did her time. She worked to build up her character. It was her time. It was her time to hold the belt. It was her time to have a payoff. And that payoff was definitely sweet. Like I said, even though she did heelish tactics, like she hit Sheeta with the belt, she, her sidekick Reba tried to, was it Rebel? Man, what does she go by nowadays? I can't believe I'm not remembering it. But anyway, yeah, she had Rebel attempt to hit Sheeta with a crutch, but then missed and hit her. At that point I was like, oh man, is Sheeta really going to retain? But Britt Baker kicked out, and then the part where she took 3 knee strikes from Sheeta, I was like, oh man, it's over. There's no way she's kicking out of this. But then she kicked out. So yeah, even though she did heelish tactics, she looked strong. She kicked out of strong moves, so yeah, it still made it look like she fought for the title, So that was definitely good booking on AEW's part. Yeah, it made it look like she fought for it, and that was good. So yeah, there's not much more I can say about that match, besides that I really liked it. I liked how like Tony Khan kind of baited us in that Sheeta was going to retain, but then out of nowhere, yeah, Britt Baker, kicked out. So yeah. And the result was good. There's not much more I can say about that. Besides, good job on AEW. Good job, AEW. It was time for a new champion, but Sheeta's reign for 1 year should not be broken. Not anytime soon. Just to show respect to Sheeta, because she carried the women's division. She definitely carried the women's division. She wasn't the only one, but she definitely carried a lot of it on her back. So I think that her 1 year reign, that record should not be broken. Not for a long time, just out of respect to her. So Sheeta drops the title. She drops the title like a real champion, a fighting champion, and Britt Baker is now the new AEW Women's World Champion. So yeah, it is definitely one of the well-booked outcomes that night. There were many others. Let me see. Jungle Boy winning the Battle Royal, the Casino Battle Royal, that was definitely a good outcome. It was a surprising outcome when it got down to just Christian Cage and Jungle Boy. I thought Christian was going to win it. They recently signed him, and they signed him, and he's a veteran in the ring. Jungle Boy's the future, but for the time being, I thought it would make sense. I thought that they were going to think about, using their present stars, people who are already stars, to carry this, platform in order to pass it on to, the future stars in the future. However, they pulled the trigger and actually had Jungle Boy win this one. Did I like the outcome? I do. Yeah, it definitely surprised me, and it's good to plant seeds for the future. So, is Jungle Boy gonna win this match against Kenny Omega? I don't think so. I doubt it. But him winning this Battle Royale is definitely, it's definitely, like I said, plants the seeds for the future, and he is definitely a future star. He's only going to get better. Very young, and he's very over with the crowd already. And if they book him to have a strong match against Kenny Omega, then yeah, that will definitely play more into his favor. So, what else? Oh, Sting and Darby Allin versus Scorpio Sky and Ethan Page. That match really surprised me. Sting at 62 years old, doing a leaping crossbody off of the top of the poker chips. Stinger splashes. He even took bumps on the walkway. Yeah, I was like, oh man, Sting, I sure hope you know what you're doing. But anyway, yeah, this match I really enjoyed. The fans were chanting for Sting, "You still got it, you still got it." And yeah, I thought, I said this a while back, I'm gonna be real, I thought that Ethan Page and Scorpio Sky should go over, but then it just hit me. Yeah, this is Sting's first, first sanctioned match in 6 years. Yeah, that street fight that he teamed up with Darby Allin in against Team Taz, yeah, that was a cinematic match, but this was the first match in the ring, first actual wrestling match. So in that sense, I go yeah, it makes sense for Sting to win. But you guys remember the closing of the match when Scorpio went for that leaping cutter, and then Sting grabbed the rope to counter that, and then just turned it into a Scorpion Death Drop? That was cool. It reminded me all those times where he countered DDP's Diamond Cutter into a Scorpion Death Drop. Yeah, that brought me back to those memories. Yeah, DDP and Sting definitely had a good rivalry back in the day. So yeah, that counter was reminiscent of that. So yeah, I'm just curious to see what Sting does next. Do I expect him to wrestle all year round? Of course not. Yeah, I want him to be healthy. I want him to be strong as a fan. But yeah, I think AEW was good in signing Sting. They're very fortunate to have him. So, going on. Man, I may miss some of these matches, guys. So, sorry for that. The Anthony Ogogo versus Cody Rhodes match. Another classic face versus heel match. Yeah, this match was good. I mean, do I consider it the greatest of the night? It wasn't a match of the night, but it was good from a storytelling perspective. And I say Anthony Ogogo, I don't know how much experience he has in the wrestling ring. He is a boxer, but I don't know how much experience he has in the wrestling, in the wrestling sport. But he did good. He did pretty good for what he's given, or for the time that he was given in this match. Yeah, he played the heel. He played that heel character really well. He looked strong in it. Cody got lucky beating him, because there was one where he knocked Cody out, but by a technicality, Cody's arm was under the rope, so he was out of bounds. So yeah, the fact that part of Cody's win was luck, that made Ogogo look strong. So yeah, this was good from a storytelling perspective, for sure. Let me see, the Orange Cassidy. Yeah, the match with Orange Cassidy versus Pac versus Kenny Omega for the AEW World Title. That match was also a good match. I don't think I can think of a bad match that night, to be honest. I say even the worst match of the night, which I can't think of off the top of my head if I had to pick one, I say even the worst match of the night would be a B+. But anyway, getting back to the World Championship match. Yeah, Kenny, he did what you expect him to do as, that heel champion. He got the Elite involved. They interfered. They helped him to win the title. I knew Kenny was going to win the title. It's just like Pac and Orange Cassidy. There wasn't a proper build to them winning the title. If anything, this title match is their build towards future opportunities. I do see Pac as a future world champion. Yeah, if booked right. I can't see the future. I can see him as a future champion if booked right, but I can't see the future, period, if that makes sense. Yeah. Booking get messed up here and there? It could, but with AEW's track record of booking, at least in my opinion, I think Pac's in good hands. So, yeah, this match was in a way a build for Orange Cassidy and Pac. That's how I see it. And yeah, I really expected Kenny to retain. He held this title since December. So yeah, someone like Kenny Omega, someone of Kenny Omega's caliber deserves to have a long reign. And when someone beats him for that title, it will, definitely mean something. And then you finally have the Stadium Stampede match. So the Stadium Stampede match, yeah, it was just like it was last year. A lot of chaos, a lot of fun. Yeah, don't expect anything technically sound. It's just supposed to be fun. It's supposed to be a very chaotic, backstage brawling. Yeah, it definitely delivered. What I liked was that they gave the finale of the match to Sammy Guevara. Even though Chris Jericho's the leader, Chris Jericho and MJF are the leaders of the two respective factions, the Inner Circle and the Pinnacle. They gave the final part of the match to Sammy Guevara. It was Sammy Guevara, facing off against Shawn Spears in the ring. Sammy landed that 630 to, win the match for the Inner Circle and thus keeping the Inner Circle united, keeping them together. So that's also good. It was good to invest in your young talent. They invested in their young talent that night, in Jungle Boy and Sammy Guevara. So yeah, was it surprising that they gave Sammy that a highlight of the match? To me, it definitely was. But it's a good surprise. I think it was definitely the right call. So, yeah, am I missing any matches? I probably am. Every time I'm doing an on-the-go type of, review. Well, I don't really call this a review. I just call this my reaction after Double or Nothing. Every time I do something on the go like this, I tend to forget. So if I'm forgetting any of your favorite matches, I'm sorry, guys. But anyway, I think I covered all the ones that I really wanted to cover. Oh, one more match. How could I forget? My boy Hangman. So, Hangman Page versus Brian Cage was the first match of, the actual pay-per-view. So, this match was good. It very technically sound. I think it was one of the best matches of the night if you're talking about technical wrestling ability. A technical wrestling showcase. So, which Adam Page and Brian Cage are both very proficient in. So, Hangman actually came away with the win via the buckshot lariat this time. Brian Cage, took him down from the top rank, from being the top ranked wrestler on an episode of Dynamite earlier. So now, Hangman, he evened up the score. He got the win on Brian Cage, but this also added storyline elements. It added more storytelling to Brian Cage's storyline with Team Taz. Looks like they're boiling up. They're letting it boil even more. This tension between Brian Cage and Team Taz. So, will Brian Cage break off from Team Taz? I say it's inevitable. But that's good for Brian Cage. Eventually, you have to break off to, look strong on your own. At this point, I think Taz has done plenty. He's done enough for Cage. So, going forward, Yeah, it'd be good for Cage to go on his own. So will he remain heel but be apart from Team Taz, apart from that stable, or will he actually turn face? You know, him turning face might not be a bad idea. You know, there've been, you know, Kenny Omega and the Bucks are heel now. Yeah. So yeah, for one of the heels to go face would be good. Yeah, just like the Inner Circle going face. Yeah, who would have thought, you know, after 2 years, the Inner Circle are faces. Now they're like some of the top faces. But anyway, getting back to Cage and Paige. So, Paige evens up the score and, you know, continues to look like a main event star in the making. And, yeah, this furthers the storyline for Brian Cage to break off from Team Taz. Anyway, those are my thoughts on AEW's pay-per-view Double or Nothing of 2021. I will catch you guys in the next upload. If whatever you guys thought of Double or Nothing, feel free to comment in the comment section below.